Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to kick off today's presentation with a topic that many men find puzzling and frustrating. Today, we'll explore the invisible walls, why attraction fades, and how to keep it alive. We'll uncover the reasons behind the ups and downs in attraction and share practical ways to maintain that spark. So, let's dive in and discover how to keep the connection strong and vibrant. Understanding boundaries is crucial because they are not walls meant to keep women away. Instead, they are structures that define how you carry yourself, what you will tolerate, and how you balance masculine polarity with emotional steadiness. Without clear boundaries, a woman's respect and attraction can slowly diminish, and eventually, she might no longer feel that initial spark. Now, to keep respect and attraction alive, there are 5 key boundaries every man must protect. First is the boundary of self-worth, which is about maintaining your sense of value and not compromising it for validation. Second, the boundary of emotional control, staying steady emotionally so you don't become reactive or unpredictable. Third, the boundary of overinvestment, knowing when to give energy and when to hold back to preserve your own vitality and interest. Fourth, the boundary of masculine polarity, maintaining your masculine energy and not blending into her emotional space too much. And finally, the boundary of growth, continuously improving yourself and not settling into complacency. These boundaries are essential because they help you stay grounded, authentic, and attractive, reinforcing your value in her eyes while also fostering a healthy, balanced connection. Let's talk about the boundary of self-worth. When a man seeks validation from a woman, he's placing her approval above his own sense of identity. This often shows up as him constantly needing reassurance, asking if she likes him, fishing for compliments, or changing his behavior just to win her approval. From her perspective, this signals insecurity. Instead of feeling admiration, she might start to feel burdened, as if she has to hold up his confidence for him. And here's the key point. This dynamic actually reverses the roles. He no longer feels like the prize. Instead, he begins to seem dependent on her opinion, which can be a turnoff. So why does this matter? Women are naturally attracted to men who validate themselves, who are confident from within. When your confidence comes from your own inner source, she's inspired by your independence, not drained by your neediness. And here's the boundary to remember. Never let your self-worth be contingent on her response. You are your own source of validation. Cultivate that internal confidence, and it will fundamentally change how she perceives you and how you feel about yourself. Let's talk about the boundary of emotional control. Attraction tends to fade quickly when a man can't regulate his emotions. Think about it. Jealousy, neediness, anger, or panic all reveal a kind of weakness. And weakness, as we know, is the enemy of respect. Women respect men who can stay grounded, even when things get challenging. When you're calm, patient, and steady under pressure, she feels safe with you. But if you crumble emotionally at small triggers, she naturally begins to pull away. This is why it matters. Masculine energy is really about composure. A man who can feel deeply but still remain steady shows true strength. The key boundary here is that you shouldn't let external circumstances or her shifting moods control your emotional state. It's about holding your frame, maintaining your inner stability no matter what's happening around you. That's what creates respect and attraction, because it signals confidence and resilience. Let's talk about the boundary of overinvestment. One of the quickest ways to kill attraction is by giving too much, too soon. Many men tend to flood a new relationship with constant texting, overavailability, and grand gestures, before the woman has even invested anything in return. This can feel overwhelming and unbalanced to her. She hasn't earned that effort yet, so it tends to lose its meaning. Worse, it can come across as desperation rather than genuine value. So why does this matter? Because attraction really thrives on reciprocity. When she has to invest her time, attention, and energy too early, it actually helps her respect you more because she sees your worth. And here's the key boundary. Never pour your entire self into a connection until she has consistently invested in you. Protect your time and energy. Maintain that balance, and you'll create a healthier, more attractive dynamic for both of you. Now, let's talk about the boundary of masculine polarity. Masculine polarity is really the natural pull that happens when a man is decisive, purposeful, and steady. It creates a sense of safety and attraction, allowing a woman to relax into her feminine role. When a man embodies these qualities, it helps maintain that magnetic connection. However, when a man becomes passive, indecisive, or overly dependent, things shift. She no longer feels led or inspired. Instead, she might feel like she has to guide or even mother him, which can diminish attraction entirely. So why does this matter? Because polarity isn't about control or aggression. It's about presence, direction, and grounded leadership. These qualities are what sustain desire, even after the initial excitement of a relationship wears off. And here's the key boundary to remember. Never surrender your masculine role by becoming overly passive or dependent. Always lead with purpose. Staying grounded in your masculine energy is essential to keeping that magnetic pull alive. Now let's talk about the boundary of growth. Respect and attraction can't survive stagnation. When a man stops learning or improving or becomes predictable, it signals that comfort has taken over ambition. At first, she may admire who you are, but if she notices no evolution, no new challenges or goals, her respect begins to fade. Remember, women want progress, not perfection. Why does this matter? Because growth demonstrates strength, resilience, and future potential. A man who keeps moving forward naturally inspires a woman to stay invested in the relationship. So here's the key boundary to keep in mind. Never let comfort replace ambition. Keep growing mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and professionally. Staying committed to growth isn't just good for you, it's essential for maintaining attraction and respect over time. So here we're talking about the accumulation of small signals, and this is really crucial to understand. Attraction at its core is emotional, not logical. It's about how you make someone feel deep down. Now, it's not just one mistake that kills that attraction. It's the small signals, the tiny missteps that add up over time. When these signals accumulate, she might start feeling less alive around you, as if the spark is slowly fading. That's why boundaries are so important. They serve as a safeguard against this slow erosion. Moving on to some key traits that help maintain that attraction and keep the connection strong. Self-worth is foundational, knowing your value and not settling for less. Internal validation means you don't rely on external approval to feel good about yourself. Emotional control is about staying steady and composed, even when things get challenging. It's about not overreacting or losing your cool. Balanced investment is also essential. You want to show genuine interest without overwhelming her or losing yourself. Reciprocity is about mutual effort, giving and taking in the relationship. Masculine polarity, which refers to embodying confident, purposeful energy, helps create attraction that's rooted in polarity and dynamic. Purposeful leadership is about guiding with intention, not control, and showing confidence in your direction. Finally, continuous growth and ambition over comfort are about always striving to improve and evolve. It's about not settling, keeping that fire alive within you. When you focus on these elements, you're actively preventing the small signals from building up into something that erodes the attraction over time. When we talk about the foundation of lasting attraction, it really comes down to a few core qualities. First, living with self-worth. That means truly valuing yourself and your worth as a man. When you do that, it naturally exudes confidence and authenticity. Next is emotional control, being able to manage your emotions and respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively creates stability and trust. Balanced investment is also crucial, putting effort into your relationship without losing sight of your own life and goals. Masculine polarity plays a key role too, embracing your masculinity in a way that complements her femininity, creating that magnetic dynamic. And of course, continuous growth, always striving to improve and evolve, keeps the relationship fresh and alive. All these elements come together to make her respect you instinctively. And as I emphasize throughout this presentation, respect is the true foundation of lasting attraction. Because, ultimately, a woman cannot stay attracted to a man she does not respect. Respect fuels the connection and keeps the spark alive over time. That's why cultivating these qualities is so essential for building a deep, lasting bond. Your choice. The choice is simple. On one hand, we can continue without boundaries, which often leads to a painful cycle of confusion. This cycle typically involves sudden disengagement, an erosion of respect, and a fading attraction over time. On the other hand, we can choose to live with boundaries that inspire respect and help keep the spark alive. When we set healthy boundaries, it fosters respect between partners, maintains emotional connection, and sustains lasting attraction. It also brings emotional steadiness, which is essential for a healthy, balanced relationship. So this slide really highlights that the decision we make, whether to have boundaries or not, directly impacts the quality and longevity of our relationships. It's about choosing to nurture respect and passion, rather than risking the chaos and confusion that come from a lack of boundaries.